Hey everyone, this is Ageless. All right, so last night we learnt about support, resistance, and trending market, right? So I believe trending market is quite easy, so easy. Now let's go to our resistance, or probably let's start with support first. And mentioned that support is below while resistance is above. So can you see these are support areas? Let me mark it out. Support areas. So it's very important you understand this. Now this is the new support on this monthly time frame, weekly time frame that is just created. See? So this support level is very important to take note of. Now let's go to another, let's pick out another, the previous support level. Look at this support level. Look at it. This particular one here is a support level. So you can draw it into the future and you can see. So this support level is so strong that when price comes back into it again, it will definitely bounce price up. Now it, when it got here, it almost hit the support level, but it didn't. So it went up, right? Now if you draw this straight support zone, now if price comes back into it in future, you will notice the reaction. Now can you see recently price got into this support zone? What happened? It bounce price up. Can you see price is actually going up? You understand? So that is how to know when to even buy or when to sell, because you have drawn your support zones and you knew that okay, if price gets to this place, there might be probability to what, to buy. You understand? So that is support. Now if we also draw up another support area, you will discover that price usually um pay attention to support zone, because um, most of big league in the market, those that trade forex, the big boys in the market, they place their buy on what, support, and place their sell on resistance. Now look at this new one that I just placed. Now this is a support zone on this weekly time frame, because weekly time frame, monthly time frame, daily and 4 hour time frames, they are so strong that they control every other time frame. So if you make your analysis from those time frame, you can then go down to the lower time frame to enter your trade. Now look at this support zone that I just drew. Now look at the line. So in future, price might come back to it. I'm not saying that you should fill everywhere with support lines on your chart. Don't get confused about that. Don't do that. You understand? So in future, if price comes to this support zone, it will definitely bounce price up. But if peradventure this support zone is broken down, if it breaks down, price will move heavily, massively down on a selling mode. You understand? If it breaks this support, because this support is so strong, but the moment it is broken, do you know what it means? Price will keep running down. So you see sellers, they will be making money. You understand? Had it be that this support zone was broken here, you understand, a lot of seller would have made a lot of money from this. But when it got here, they knew that okay, there could be something that showed them that okay, this support zone is not going to be broken, so they had to quickly rush in to start buying. Now look at it, between year and year is a whole lot of money. I made analysis of this present week. Look at it, this movement alone, if you go to the lower time frame, you will discover that there is a whole lot. Look at it, this is it. Can you see? There is a whole lot of money there. So it's very important that you understand all of this. That is support area. You understand? That is support. Support is very is very easy to understand, right? Now, if you go on to your chart, you will see some support areas too. You understand? Always watch out for support area, because when price is coming down and hit your support zone, price might definitely bounce up. You understand? On any time frame at all. All right, but it's always good to draw up your support um zones from higher time frames like the monthly, weekly, daily, and 4 hour. All right, so that is support. Now let's go to resistance zone. Now I think I have to clean up this for you to understand resistance zone, right? So let me clean up my chart. So now let's go to resistance. Resistance simply means upper part. So please pay attention to that. Now look at this. We have this resistance zone. If this currently GBP/USD, this is where it is now at the moment. If it gets here, don't ever start trading up, because when it gets to, see, big banks, hedge funds, big companies, they've placed their sell here on this resistance. They've placed it already since maybe last year. Now the moment price gets to this place, it will bounce back and start selling. So that's why in support, in resistance area now, you don't need to what, keep buying. When it gets there, you say, oh, because price is going up, you start buying. No, it will not buy, because this place is zone that is very strong. You understand? It will bounce price down and start selling down. That is resistance. Just like the way we also have support too. This zone is a strong zone for support. When price gets there, it will bounce up and start buying. So this is another resistance zone. Look at it. This is another resistance zone. So can you see it? This is another resistance zone. This is another resistance zones here. Now when it got here, can you see? It only projected up a bit and started reversing. You understand? It didn't go up further. It only broke it a bit. You understand? This is fake breakout. Some traders will be like, oh, it's buying, price is buying here. It's a lie. You understand? Because this zone is so strong. Had it be that it will keep buying, you understand, buying pressure would have been much. So it reversed and starts coming down. That is resistance zone. Resistance zone is so powerful. You understand? This is another resistance zone. So because this video is getting too long now, right? So let me just for you to understand it. This is another resistance zone here. You see it up here. Let me shrink my this is another resistance zone. Can you see this one here? Can you see that pointed pin bar? You see it's a resistance. So when it got here there again, it bounced back and starts trending down. You understand? So that is another resistance zone. If you keep checking, you discover that there's another resistance zone. Understand? So this is another resistance zone. So can you see? So this is another resistance zone. So price came down and it now went up. When it got there, it bounced it down. You understand? Between here and here is a whole lot of movement, because we are on weekly time frame. If you take it down to daily, 1 hour or 4 hour, you discover that this is a lot of movement. You understand? So when it got, let me project it to that point. Can you see? So when it got to this place, it bounced price downward a bit before it projected up and broke it. Understand? And when it broke it, what happened? Price moved massively. Understand? Price moved up massively. You understand? So that is resistance zone. So those are resistance zones. All right. So you can find resistance zone on any time frame of your choice. If you go to weekly, you will see resistance. If you go to 1 hour, you will see resistance zone. So that is that about support and resistance. Please study your notes. Those important points in each of those topics, they are very important. You understand? Take advantage of them. If you don't understand anything about them, just let me know. All right, thank you, Ageless.